crushing it Wednesday, they feeling undefeated. Queens of the ring like Christine Miz. If you get in the ring with Christina, you might catch a beating. Just tune in, you gon' have to see it. Stand up if you with us, if not, they be seated. You seen them in every arena. Eddie and Nika, who really got something to fight for. Everybody saying they're the GOAT, who the one that slayed the Chupacabra. Your favorite girls.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Women Crushing It Wednesdays. So my girl Nika, she's not feeling good tonight, so it's going to be myself and Mark Nash, and possibly D-Style's going to jump on. But we have a great show lined up for you today. So I hope that you're ready, because we have a bunch of things to talk about, a bunch of things. But first, I want to do a shout out to our sponsors, Arte de Tere, who does all of our artwork, Kush with a C, who does our music, and also HCP, Hispanics Causing Panic. My guys, they did a great show yesterday, and I hope you all tuned in. If not, you can just catch it on the replay. But Mark Nash is going to be joining us pretty soon. Mark Nash TV. If you're not subscribed to his channel, please do. Please do. Thank you so much, Writing Yogi. You're a real one. Always tuned in. I appreciate you so much. And Ronnie Bravo. Like I said, my girl, she's not feeling good. So she won't be joining us tonight. But we have a great show. So I want you to stay tuned. Absolutely stay tuned. And I'm trying to work all the overlays because that's what she usually does. And she's fucking awesome, and I'm not, but it's okay because we're gonna get this. We are going to get this. Okay, let's see. So let's do this. Okay. So anyway, we have so much juicy boxing talk, to talk about. First of all, people are talking about the Virgil Ortiz situation. And should he move up? Should he just forget about boxing? And I want to know what y'all think about that. Like what's going through your heads? Hey, Crystal. I know our poor girl, she's not feeling good, but she'll be okay. She'll be okay. Cooking with the champ. Hello. Oh, you hear wind. Oh, Ronnie. Okay. Ronnie, you just had to say that. You hear, that's my fan. I'm at the age where I get fucking hot. Okay, let me slow it down. Hold on. If I start sweating, it's your fault. Just saying. Okay, let me turn it off. There we go. Okay, so now it's going to be just a little bit of wind. You can see my hair flying around. But thank you for mentioning that. I'm not outside. I just had my fan on because I'm fucking hot. But so I want to know what y'all's thoughts are before Mark Nash comes on. Should Virgil forget about boxing? Should he move up to 147? I can deal with it. It's fine. Thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate that. Look at my hair. It's like I just had it straighten. It's like flying everywhere. But anyway. So what are y'all's thoughts? I really want to know. Crystal says Ortiz needs a thorough medical evaluation prior to any discussion of returning to the ring. I totally agree with you. And I'm not sure if they've done that and maybe they didn't like what was told to them, or they haven't done that. Like, I'm really curious because he's such a good kid. And I want to know what's going on with that. Like, I really do. Mike Ramirez, yes, prayers for his health. He's such a great guy. And there's rumors, there's speculations always floating around. Hey, G Funky, about who was it? Timothy Bradley. Was it Timothy Bradley that was saying that fathers and mothers should be banned from camp or banned from the corner? What are y'all's thoughts on that? Because, we know that Virgil's dad is a big part of his career. Like, he's there always. And even like I've known since he was a kid, like I don't know, 8, 9 years old, and his dad was always there. Are dads the problem? Are moms the problem? Or is it something bigger than that? I'm just curious on y'all's thoughts. Writing Yogi says, I'm confused about why this wasn't addressed prior to any fight negotiation. As far as what? As far as his last 2 episodes of being ill, or is it something different? Because yeah, I mean, this is serious. I mean, this is life or death. People don't I mean, I don't know if he had some organs that shut down. I'm not sure exactly what the disease is, but if somebody can weigh in, please do. Cooking with the Champ says Virgil definitely needs to move up. He's going to kill himself trying to make that weight. And it's so sad because it's so true. And I think he was even like stripped. He's no longer number 1. I think it was by the WBA. He's no longer number 1. He's no longer the mandatory. Because this is the 3rd time and they've given him multiple chances, to figure out what the issue is. Yeah, writing Yogi on his ongoing illnesses. Yeah, I'm curious. What are the doctors saying? Are they releasing him and like, oh, it's okay, go ahead and do it again? But you know what? Look, I might be biased because I absolutely love perfecting athletes who deal with most of the world champions in boxing and in the UFC, and they are fucking awesome. I mean, you were never going to hear about this with their fighters. As a matter of fact, they're eating before they get on the scales. I believe it was Michaela saying she was eating a stack of pancakes, that was given to her by perfecting athletes before she stepped on the scale. Because they're all about nutrition, about the right way, feeding the brain, protecting the brain, hydrating. I really believe that once you're on that elite level, that everybody needs to have nutritionists, professionals, doctors, professional nutritionists. It's very important. Like it's absolutely fucking important in my opinion. But I do want somebody to tell me, what are y'all's thoughts on dads in boxing, on moms in boxing? Let me know. Okay, here we go, Ronnie. Tim just lashing out because his dad wanted him to be a football player. Is that what it is? Like, is that what it is? Or does he have a point? Does he have a point? Because you know what? I think moms and dads can be supportive, but everybody has to stay in their lane. Everybody has to know where they fit into the bigger picture, in my opinion. Crystal Crawford says just today he has 5 pounds before he hit the scale. Absolutely. And who does he work with, Crystal? Perfecting athletes. Abso-fucking-lutely. Yeah, they're definitely proven. Okay, so Mark Nash is logging in now. Let's go, Mark. Let's go. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, man. Cooking with the Champ. Do you remember when Cyborg almost killed herself trying to make 135? Weight cut is no joke. No, it's no joke if you do it the wrong way. You have to do it the right way. You have to have professionals. There are people that know what they're doing. They know what the fuck they're doing. And we need those professionals to instruct us, just like we need doctors and everybody stay in their lane. Everybody do what they need to do. Mike Ramirez says Ortiz Sr. isn't as bad as some of the others. I mean, he's not as loud as some of the others, absolutely. And I don't have any criticism for him. I've known him for many, 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 many years. But I think that if there has to be a rule, like no dads, no moms, it's got to be across the board, not just the loudmouths. Because something's not right. Something is not right. And we need to figure out what it is. Elda, what's up, man? What is up? Thanks for tuning in. Crystal, yes, nutrition is so important and we have to protect the freaking brain. And perfecting athletes talk about that all the time, protecting the brain. Okay, Coach Amber, I'm so glad you got out of the gym early so you could catch us. I love when you tune in. You have so much good information to give us, and I appreciate you so much. Ronnie Bravo says, I've never seen it really work for the better. Roy Jones, Shane Mosley, etc. But it has worked on some occasions, like Felix Trinidad and Eric Morales. Well, you know what? And also Lomachenko. Like, his dad knows his role. He knows what he has to do. So in that situation, I think that it works too. But you have to know your place. Hello, brother. Me and my brother, we just had a long conversation. I wish we could put some of it on on YouTube, but we can't. This is too much, whatever. Boxing talk. Hey, Al Money, good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you so very much. Twin Munoz says, hello, never heard of Ortiz Sr. speak. He doesn't. He's very quiet. But there's some good examples and bad examples. Papachenko would be good. Absolutely. No, he is. And I just said that. Like, he was one of the good examples of a father that stayed in his lane and lets the professionals do what they need to do, which is so fucking important. Coach Amber said, you the ultimate mama bear. Thank you, mama. Would it work the same way with no mama coaches? And see, that's the thing. Like, yes, I was always the mama coach. So I get what you're saying. But it's like some of these, and I'm sorry, it's like the dads, they're just they're messing their kids up. Oh, my beautiful girl, she's here with us. Okay, we have Mark Nash, so we're gonna put him on. What's up, man?
Check 1 2. What it do? How it sound?
Hey, it sounds good to me, and I love the background. I love the lighting. Like, you on point.
What's popping with you? How you feel, my sister?
I feel good. I feel really good. Like, I'm excited. I thank you so much for joining. I don't know if you heard, Nika's not feeling too good. So you know what? We're gonna take it over. We're gonna do this.
Let's get it. Let's talk about it.
Absolutely. We were just talking about moms and dads in boxing. Like, Timothy Bradley was saying that moms and dads should be banned. What are your thoughts on that?
Did he provide more of context? What exactly was the context he put it in?
So, there's a lot of loudmouth dads. Like, they write checks that their sons cannot cash sometimes. They're not the ones that get in the ring. And they're the ones that are the loudest. I mean, you see them, they're on social media. They're the ones doing the interviews. They're the ones, like, if you need an interview, you can just talk to the dad, and it's like, we don't know. We're speculating about Virgil Ortiz's dad. What's going on with that? I mean, if your kid is sick, if there's things going on, this is the third time that he has not made weight, the third time that he has to pull out of a fight, and now he's been removed as the mandatory and off the number one, contender list at his weight. So what is it? What is it? What needs to be done?
Well, since the beginning of time, I always thought the father and son combo is most guys, the first time they get into boxing, it's the mom or dad.
That's true.
They take them to the Amis. I'm sure I don't have to tell you. You see them all the time in the amateurs.
Sure, I was the mom. I was the mom.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I get where he comes from, because sometimes you will have a father telling the guy, "Hey, you're winning when you're losing." Sometimes they keep them in there when they should be getting kicked out. I mean, stopping the fight. It's a stiff situation for me, because I got this one little metaphor. Like, when people always used to bash Kenny Porter all the time, right? Like, oh, his daddy stopped the fight.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you something about Kenny Porter. Kenny Porter took his son to the mountaintop.
For sure.
2 times. Some of y'all daddy ain't never took you to the corner store.
You're
Show
right.
Kenny Porter some respect. Show Kenny Porter some respect. Hey, look, Sean Porter had 5 opportunities to become a world champion. He was successful too.
Yeah, that's true.
Kenny Porter's a good father. He's a good man. Look what Devin Haney. Look at historically, a lot of these guys, they start with their dad. And granted, your dad can get you somewhere and you might plateau off and you might need a different coach. But I'm not with that, because if I'm not mistaken, Tim Bradley had his daddy in his corner his whole career, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I remember too. I mean, what about like the Teofimo Lopez seniors? What about that? So I don't think it should be across the board.
He took his son to the mountaintop 2 times right now. Say what we want to about it. You might not like his dad all the way. You might not like some of the things that you see outside, but he took his son to the mountaintop 2 times. He beat Josh Taylor and Loma. Like, you ain't gotta like him.
When do they take it too far, where it's like the health doesn't matter anymore? When D-Style wants to weigh in, so I see he's. What's up, my bro? I knew you were gonna have something to say about this.
What's up?
Mark Nash, D Style. I said
I've
you got
been on
something to
panel
say
with him
on it.
before. The boxing voice, we chopped it up over there, and I've been on the round table on his show as well.
Nice,
Sure.
nice. But what are your thoughts, D Style? I mean, so when is it detrimental to these boxers' health that the father does not shut up?
Well, whenever the father's putting their own self-interest over their own son's health.
And who judges that?
I don't know who judges that, but I just think I've seen that happen twice now, and just in literally the last 2 years with fathers.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, I'm not. Does that? Am I a judge, jury, executioner out here? No, but I can observe and I can point it out if I see it. At the end of the day, it is a fight. At the end of the day, the fighter needs to make that decision, right? Like if they want to stick with their father or not. Like, all I could do is point out what I see. I don't have a hard stance in terms of fathers in boxing. I think some fathers work, some don't. It's like anything else. But at the end of the day, the fighter needs to make that decision whether to move on or not.
Absolutely. And it does have to be across the board. If it's going to happen, it's got to be across the board. Even the good ones would be X'd out, or even the bad ones that we say or think that we judge are bad would be let in. So it's like, who's the judge of that? You know, it's got to be the boxer. Like, who is he most comfortable with? You know, in my opinion. I mean, do y'all agree with that, or?
Well, I said it.
More.
So.
Oh, go ahead, D.
Oh, well, that's what exactly. She just repeated what I said. So yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's yes. It's a yes for me.
Yeah, and then like I said, crazy. Last week I said I hope he's 100%, and we got the news afterwards. I know I was really hoping too, you know. But one thing I said before he got on D Style is I was like, I believe that all of these high level boxers, they need nutritionists, they need professionals helping them protect their brain, all their organs, you know, their hydration, everything. And some people don't believe that they need to spend the money because they're old school, and they believe that they don't have to do it because they know how to do it. They put the bag on, the plastic bag, which is part of the problem, you know. And it's and I don't know. It's I think we're in a day and age that we need to have professionals. Coach Amber says if Senior isn't worried about the public dragging him into it, then I have to respect it. Yeah, absolutely. Shelton Moore said Junior Lopez got his son to the unified lightweight title and the WBA lightweight title. Got to respect it. Absolutely. That's exactly what Mark said. Like, I mean, they've gotten their sons to the mountaintops. It's not until like really recently, like how many boxers do we know, like Ortiz, that for 3 times something like this has happened? Like I can't think of any. Can y'all?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
I ain't never heard of that, man.
Yeah, it's I haven't either. What about you, D-Style? Have you heard about it?
No, not like this, and not this severe, right? And for the same reason 3 times in a row, like that.
Yeah.
That's what's astonishing. But no, I never heard of it.
Well, not to interrupt. Did we get a reason for this 3rd time? I just heard he fainted and he was hospitalized. I never heard the reason.
It's the same sickness. It's something with an R. The same thing.
The Rob
mouth.
Here's what I'll say. There's some stuff I know. I don't want to go too deep into it, but anybody could put the puzzle. You guys could put the puzzle together for yourself, right? We're being told, you know what? It's just this weight class. It's just too much for Virgil, so we're gonna go ahead and just move up, right? That's what we're being told, right? That he fainted because the weight cut was too much. But I know he ended up in the hospital, and I heard he had to be resuscitated. Right,
yes,
they have to give him CPR,
too.
Right? And I'm hearing this from different people. This is not like just one person. So now they're not going out of the way to put this out there, right? Mm-hmm. I'm also hearing, and we just got to use our common sense. How many times when a fighter can't make weight, all they do is either look at Jojo Diaz, he just didn't make weight. Shakur just didn't make weight. Right. If he was having a hard time making a weight, nowadays all they do is just miss weight. But they didn't go that route. He fainted, right?
Right.
They didn't offer to change the weight. like, hey, Stanionis, we're having a
Yeah,
hard
you can negotiate. The managers can negotiate. Definitely.
at a catchway. We'll give you a little more change or something.
Right.
Stanionis extra money would have been less costly than canceling the whole event for them, right?
Right.
They had every intention to try to make 147 pounds. And not right before that, an article came out where Virgil's dad was saying, "Oh, we found the problem. We solved this issue." Right. And then like the next day, like he faints. It was on a Wednesday. And I'm being told, "Oh, don't worry, the solution, we're going to move to 154. It's going to solve everything." You fainted on Wednesday, not on Friday.
Yeah.
So
A lot of I'm sorry, go ahead, D.
that's still a lot of weight that you haven't cut yet. You're still carrying a lot of the water weight at that point. So all I know is this: the disease he has, the rhabdo. I don't know how to say the long form. It attacks the kidneys specifically
Yes.
and the other organs. It breaks down the muscle tissue in your body. The
Yeah.
issue that he has is far more serious, and he just can't make 147 anymore. It's more serious than that. And for whatever reason, they stayed stubborn on keeping him at 147. Right? Maybe there was a lot of investment made in that division for him, but it could be I hope I'm wrong, where it's just a little too late, and the damage has already been done to his organs, in my opinion.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Mark?
I had two things I was gonna ask. Do we know what was on the line again for that Stanionis fight? What was it?
The
Was it
WBA Reggie.
Yeah, like I don't think you can negotiate that and go come in over the weight and still get that opportunity. You lose that.
No, you couldn't. Yeah, you
But
couldn't.
also,
You could
we
still
don't know-
fight, but
Yeah, but also we don't know how far he was. You know, how close he was to it. Like, are we talking about a pound or two, or are we talking about maybe 5 to 8 pounds? You know, I don't know,
Right.
because that sounded like he was
I
cutting.
don't-
He
I don't
sounded like he
know,
started cutting late and definitely was cutting late and cutting improperly. We don't
But
know
here's
if
the
he had
thing,
some
Mark.
nutritionists in the camp. Go ahead, dude.
I'm going to let you continue, but I need everybody to think about this. Let's say he didn't faint on Wednesday. Let's just say, well, for whatever reason, it was bad, but not bad enough to where he fainted, right? And then he goes into Friday, he makes weight, but he still has his condition. And he steps in the ring against Stanionis. What happens? Do we know?
Well, I'll tell you what I know. What I know is that all this results in cutting water too early. And you don't cut water. You don't cut water. If it's the day before and you have a few ounces that you need to cut, you do that the night before or the day of. But you do not start cutting water days or weeks ahead of time. And that's the old school mentality. And this is when these issues come, because first of all, your brain needs protection. Your brain is surrounded in water, and your organs are surrounded in water. So this stems from the water, in my opinion, and I'm no medic, but I've done this for a long time. So I know that it comes from the water depletion.
But I just want to say one more thing about this, so we can let Mark cook on it. I feel like people are pointing out the symptoms, but they're not looking at the root cause here. So it's like, for example, let's say you have a diabetic. Obviously, we know what happens to diabetics when they eat too much candy or sweets, right? They don't react very well to it, right? I believe that what a fighter needs to do, like to cut weight, this disease reacts very negatively to that action, just like a diabetic eating candy, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what they're saying by, let's go to 154, they're basically saying, instead of saying, we're going to take care of ourselves, we're going to eat healthy, we're going to start doing exercise, we're going to take our insulin, we're going to lay off the sweets. I'm hearing, well, we're going to eat less sweets, and that should solve the problem, right? He still is a big guy. I'm sure he walks around about 170 or something or higher.
Yeah, he definitely
So
does.
he still needs to do the things that this disease reacts very negatively to, which is cut weight.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying.
Yeah, Mark, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm good on this one. We can move to the other topic. I think
Yeah,
I
we
think
have
he
so many.
delivered
And
very
Mark
well.
brought up, like,
Well,
Mark
cool.
and I were talking earlier, and he like, we got some good stuff we're gonna talk about. But
I wish
but
Virgil Ortiz best. I wish him the
me,
best,
me too.
and
I do.
hopefully we
He's a
can get this
great
figured out.
kid. Love him. I want to see him back on top. If he is physically, medically released to do that, I want to see him back on top because he is amazing. Absolutely. So I'm with that. Thank you so much, XO Factor. So I want to first congratulate Clarissa Shields because she won the FC Best Boxer World. She beat Kay, Haney, and Stevenson. Bravo to her. Bravo to her. Yeah, so I mean that's huge. I mean, because usually I know that D Style had mentioned like he would like to see a women's division and a men's division, and maybe you know what, maybe there needs to be, maybe there doesn't. But if she's the best boxer right now of the year, kudos to her because she's definitely earned her stripes. Like she has earned everything that she's done, and kudos to her. But you know what? A lot of people are saying and that Seniesa Estrada is the baddest female boxer right now today. And I want to ask y'all's opinion. Mark, what are your thoughts on Seniesa?
And compared to Clarissa Shields,
just in general, like just with
she's
the
dope.
climate of
She's
boxing
dope.
right
She's
now
dope. She's
in the
dope.
women's division.
She's dope. She's super dope. Been dope for a long time. Unfortunately, sometimes it seems like some fans don't know who she is, and it doesn't resonate. She doesn't resonate well with the casuals in boxing, like the name, like of a Baumgartner or a Clarissa Shields, a Savannah Marshall. Sometimes it seems like she does, or the Serrano sisters. You know, she just sometimes it doesn't connect well. Why do you guys think that is?
I think, in my opinion, and then I want you to go, D Styles, is like I think she's not as vocal as some of the women today. I think like all the females that are up there in their own way, they're beautiful. They're beautiful beings. They work just as hard, if not harder, than some of the men. They have earned everything, most of them, 90% of them, that has been put in front of them. And I'm not sure. I don't know if it's because she's not as vocal, although I loved the little back and forth that she had with Marlene on Twitter, where, you know, she was like, you know, I was your first loss, I'll be your last. And Marlene's like, you know what, bring your scrawny ass here. And she's like, well, you bring your fat ass here, I'll beat your ass again. So I like that. I love stuff like that. But
yeah, I missed
maybe
that on
that's
Twitter.
what it is. We need more of that, in my opinion. What do you think, D Styles?
Well, I just think, look, Seniesa was kind of, it's like that old saying, you know, like if a tree falls in the middle of the forest and nobody's around to hear it, doesn't make a noise. Like, so where she was kind of hidden away, like boxing seems to hide gems away. There's still gems, but they're hidden away, right? And just recently she signed with Top Rank. I would like to see Seniesa on the undercard of. It would have been nice to see her in the undercard of the Haney versus Lomachenko fight or something like that, to give her more exposure. I just think that's what she needs because look, she's extremely talented. This is just my opinion, just from the eye test. I think she is the best boxer pound for pound in all of boxing for the women. I think she's a phenomenal talent. She's also surrounded in divisions with hundreds and hundreds of talents on there. So the advantage she has over Clarissa Shields, for example, is that she has a lot of talent she could fight. Where Clarissa, like, it's not her fault, but there's just not a lot of talent up there. There's like divisions with 20 women in it, for example. So she'll be, she just needs more exposure, you know, but people won't even believe it. But Seniesa's been around for a long time in the pro ranks.
Yeah.
And you can't even tell because she's been so under the radar.
Excuse me, sorry.
And her and Marlene kind of need each other, in my opinion. I think that rivalry
But does Seniesa really need Marlene, or does Marlene really need Seniesa? I don't agree with you.
They need each other, I think. A great rivalry is good for everybody involved at the end of the day. And I think that's what women fighters need to start embracing rivalries, in my opinion.
I love the little exchange on Twitter, but you know what? Then I'm not going to be interested in that again until we see that they're going to fight again. I mean, so I'm like, okay, let's move on to the
Well,
next
whether
one.
they
I
fight
don't
or
know.
not, I don't know. But because one's a Golden Boy, one's a Top Rank, so I'm not sure. But
Yeah, right.
Golden Boy's not going to do it until she. I think they're trying to make Marlene undisputed first, and then after that, they might entice Anissa to move up. But I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know. I'll say this though: she's extremely talented. She's like a little
She is.
fireball. You know what I mean?
She is. She really is. And I'm so happy that she's going to be fighting on the Friday before the Spence Crawford fight. So I know that Mark, you're going to Vegas, right? You're going to the fights.
Yes, ma'am.
Same. Nike and I are going to be there too. So will you be at the Sinisa Estrada fight on that Friday?
Where is it at?
It's going to be in Vegas too.
No, I'm saying where at in Vegas? Like,
It's going to be the I don't know if it's the Palm. What is it? Help me out, chat. I forget. I have
don't
the
know where it
information.
is.
I'm gonna send it to you after the show.
It's one of the little venues in Vegas.
I'm gonna be in the city. I might.
Yeah, I think we're gonna stop through.
Can I just say something about the ESPYs really quick? So,
Absolutely.
look, me personally, I think the ESPYs matter to the athletes and whoever. I guess they're entertaining to watch for some people. I don't know. I haven't really seen them in years, but what I'll say is this: ESPN is so disrespectful to boxing and to combat sports in general, and I'll explain why. All their other categories, all of them, best male tennis player, best female tennis player, best golfer for men and women. I think bowling they have for men and women. For like sports that are nowhere near as big as boxing. Like I understand boxing not the biggest, but it's somewhere like 10 or 11 on the list, for you know what I mean? It's like first they used to have just male boxer and they added MMA. So like MMA and boxing shared one award, right? The sport of MMA and boxing had Fighter of the Year award for men and women. Like I just want to make sure people understand. They finally separated it where it's MMA fighter and boxer of the year, right?
Right.
But they don't separate. They should have a male boxer of the year and a female boxer of the year. Like it's not like I'm not going to go up in arms about it, but it's what they should do.
So I don't know if I agree with that because the thing is, and as a female, obviously, so I don't want one day for there to be a category for best female coach and best male coach. Like I just want to win one day coach.
Yeah, but that's different though, because as a coach, like if both parties can participate in the same thing.
I got you, D Styles. I agree with you on that. Like a woman can coach men in the sport, but men aren't going to fight women. I'm with D Style on that, and I think you limit the options too of how many women get overlooked when you jump them, gobble. When you put them in the same pot with the guys, like
and men.
If you're gonna do woman fighter of the year, like what about what's the sister from the UFC? I think she's from Brazil. She's
Amanda Nunes.
Nunes. Like you could have put Nunes, Baumgartner, Clarissa Shields. Like you could just put a whole bunch of those right there, and that you got enough for them to have their own category, be nominated, pick best female fighter,
I see what y'all
best male
saying.
fighter. It's because when you do it like that, so many women got overlooked as well.
That's true, and the men, because I mean, Tank Haney and Stevenson. I mean they've done some good things too.
Where's Bivol?
Why is Shakur nominated this year? Didn't he lose his belt on the scales?
Because he's a ESPN fighter. That's why.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, this is why I don't think that's serious. Remember when Tyson Fury won the award in a year he didn't fight?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it is what it is.
It's all political. It's all political. Who you rubbing elbows with? Who you taking to dinner? Who you talking to?
It is fan voted, isn't it? I believe.
Yeah, it's all.
No. I thought that's the sports writers over there. I thought
okay. I could be wrong.
The writers. I'll look it up though, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, let's figure it out. Like I'm curious too. I've seen some crazy things, so I'm just like I'm assuming that it's all rubbing elbows.
So they're not going to nominate Bivol?
Sports writers, broadcasters, sports executives, and sports persons collectively and collectively experts.
Okay.
Or ESPN personalities also can vote.
Okay,
There you have it.
that's good. There you go. That's it. You're right, Shelton. You're right. And you know what? Ronnie Bravo's right too. Floyd won it multiple times, fighting once a year. So it's all political. I mean, it
Ronda
really
Rousey
is.
won and got beat up same year.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's definitely.
Is that the year where they asked Floyd because Floyd had won like
That was
6 straight?
That was the year she beat Floyd. She was like, "Hey Floyd, can you beat him? You want to talking about fighting Floyd?" And then Holly Holmes went in there and beat her ass.
Yeah, but that's when they asked Floyd, like, what you think of Ronda Rousey? Like, oh, I don't know him. Like, he's such a dick.
Yeah. But
Never heard of him.
Speaking of Sinisa fighting, and then the next day, we have like the greatest, matchup in my opinion of like a decade or more. But one question that I posed to both of you is, do the Crawford fans and the Spence fans really hate each other, and why? And whoever wants to go first can. Like, you see a lot of petty
I'll
shit.
digress to my homie right there. Go ahead, D Styles.
I mean, do people have been watching boxing for years and are favoring one guy or the other really hate each other? I don't think so.
I mean, it's gotten dirty personal.
Yeah, it has, but yes, are there? I gotta be honest, it's really the Spence side. Maybe I'm biased when I say that, but I think that there are some fans on the Spence side, and when I say some, it's a good amount. I don't want to make it sound like it's some rare unicorn. They're out there. A lot of them have big platforms on YouTube, and have gone around and have put wood in that flame, in that fire, and putting out the whole Top Rank Toby and putting out he's a coon, he's a sellout, and just stuff like that, like really ugly stuff that they made it very, very personal, right?
Yeah.
And then now they're saying, oh, we were just talking shit, like okay, well, whatever you want to call it, but I mean, I think what it is that they're very, very loyal to Errol, maybe a little too loyal, right? I couldn't imagine being that loyal to a fighter myself, but okay. But yeah, I think for the most part, it is the Spence fans, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not saying there's no such thing as a Bud fan that goes a little too far. Like, all fighters have those fans, right?
Sure, absolutely.
But Spence fans have been extremely, and yes, there's a lot of content creators, they're Spence fans, that they've been a little too,
and then I've seen people say that it's the other way. Like, why are the Bud fans so sensitive? I don't know.
And what did Bud do? So Bud is a prize fighter who moved up to 147 pounds and wanted to fight the best fighter, 147. That was Errol. That's all Bud ever did. All he wanted to ever do was fight Errol Spence. That's it.
Yeah, that's right. Mark, what are your thoughts on that? Like, I mean, is there real hate? Like, are we gonna go to Vegas and we're gonna get some gang fights?
They hate him. Yes, they hate him. They hate this guy Crawford, and I think
why?
He from Omaha. Let me just. It's not a big market. They don't have a pro team. Do they got a pro team in anything?
Not that I know of.
Texas is a big state. I mean, everything is bigger in Texas, even the hate. I just think they just don't like this guy, man, because he's from Omaha. And I remember they was rooting for Bud at one point. They used to ride with Bud until he said he was coming up in weight.
That's true.
And it just a flip switch. I don't know where that Top Rank Toby stuff comes from. I think it's disgusting as a black man. I think it's disrespectful to him as a multi-millionaire, multi-champion prize fighter. Is also goes to a deeper level. It's disgusting and disrespectful to the atrocities of slavery. Like, how dare you, dog? Like, are you insane? And these are black guys pushing this. And I always tell them, if Max Kellerman was to say this stuff, Skip Bayless was to say it, you will be calling for his job tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're right.
It's disgusting, and I don't have no respect for people who push that kind of rhetoric. But yeah, but on the flip side, Spence can't do no wrong. He on camera kissing his favorite rapper. Give me some sugar. They like, I don't see that. They don't see that though. They never hoided that though. He's been caught in some questionable moments, to say the least. I remember when Nate Jones said, what was that? Where's that drop? I think I got it. Nate Jones said, Let me see. I think I got it. He was like,
The one thing about Earl Spence that I don't like about him is that sometimes he be drunk. I see him drink a little bit.
he said, and when you
Right.
go into a deep fight with a guy like Crawford, you're gonna need to dig deep in the 12 rounds, and you're not gonna have it. You left that at the bar. You left that at the bottom of that liquor bottle. They went crazy. Errol Spence said, "Man, I don't hang out with Nate Jones. He don't know me like that. He don't know me like that." Come to find out, Nate Jones was not lying. He was telling the truth. On the truth. Errol Spence comes out and tell Errol Spence can come out and tell these guys all the time, man, Crawford won't duck and I won't duck it, man. It was just business. They still calling him a duck. Man, the fight is in what, 17 days? People were in the live virtual reality press conference today calling the man a duck still. Like, he's about to fight him in 17 days and you still calling him a duck. Like, it's just these guys are wilding.
I feel you. I feel you on that.
My bad. Yeah, that's crazy.
No, I
so
do, because you're right. Like Doug, there's no Doug nothing. Lukey Boxer said the virtual press event was so god awful today. Nothing eventful. Both fighters look bored. Look, this is
I
the
disagree.
thing.
I disagree. And Lukey's my guy right there, but I disagree.
I love Lukey, but so I didn't watch it. So I always take what he says as what it is, gospel. But think about it. They've been on this press tour answering the same ass questions. Like, I was blessed enough. We were blessed enough to be able to have Bud on the show. And we were not going to ask the same questions because people get tired. It's like we recycle the same questions, the same shit. It's like, I want to see personality. I want to see what you're thinking about when you're not in the gym. You know, how are you with your family? How are you when you're with your boys? Like, that's me personally. That's what I want to know. Because I've already heard the same shit. That's why I didn't watch it today.
I haven't seen it either, but I do know this. I saw the original press conferences in person.
Mm-hmm.
I personally didn't have a problem with them. I liked them, but plenty of people were just complaining. Like, look, if you guys want these fighters to act fake and act a fool and like it's a WWE and cut promos and all that, you might be watching the wrong sport. Go watch WWE. That they do that all the time over there. You know what I mean? I don't mind a trash talker in boxing. I don't, but it needs to be them. It needs to be organic. It needs to be something they want to do. It's my opinion.
No, I will say, I'm sorry, sis. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say absolutely. I was just gonna agree. No, you go.
Now, was some dumb ass questions. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm cussing too much up here, but I be cussing.
You're fine.
Excuse me.
I'm cussing
All
like
right.
a sailor right now.
Now they was saying some dumb ass questions. That they was like, Errol, how did you know Terrence didn't like hot sauce? Hey, Errol, are you gonna wear the black Air Force Ones? Because I don't know if y'all ever heard the stigma, like people that wear black Air Force Ones versus people wear white Air Force Ones, they different. Y'all ever heard of that?
Yeah.
The white Air Force Ones guy be like, hey, how you doing, baby? Let me open the door. The black Air Force Ones guy be like, bitch, get in the car. Like, so it's like two different personalities. So they was like, hey, Errol, you see you growing the fro. You're gonna bring the shag back. So you did get some dumb questions like that. But you also, but you did get some good questions like, hey, why is this fight not resonating with the casuals? Is it because it's two African American fighters that don't talk a lot of shit? So I thought those were good questions. It was asking more about the sanctioning bodies. Terrence, what do you think we need to do to fix up? This is my bar. Too many belts, not enough champs. Why? And he spoke on that, and he was like, he just said, hey man, maybe it might need to be one belt. Or you got guys not fighting their mandatories. You get a guy gets sick, you get an interim belt, and then the champ supposed to come back. You're supposed to fight the champ, and the champ comes back, and he get to do whatever he want to. Canelo going up and down in weight. Jamal hasn't fought in 2 years. I thought those were good questions and great answers.
Yeah, no, those are good questions. Absolutely. And you know what? We get that. So everybody is like extreme.
Take that off the screen and get him out of here.
Or extreme Spence.
No, that's a racist dude. Get him out of here, yo.
Oh, real? Oh, okay.
Did you read the name? Yeah, get him out of here. He's a racist. I see him everywhere.
Oh, okay. Well, let me do that then. Thank you. But so we have extreme, and which I like, because it makes the fight so much more interesting, and Chris was talking about the flip-floppers. There've been some flip-floppers. It's like, pick your side, pick your team, let's go. That's the way I look at it. So but to answer my own question, do the Spence fans and the Crawford fans really hate each other? I think so. I really think so.
I know some people said they ain't even going to the fight because they was like, man, there's gonna be some people out there fighting. I don't want to be involved in that. I was like, you're gonna
That's
let
what I'm
people
saying.
talk you out of not going to one of the biggest fights of this generation,
Right.
bro? You might be a part of the problem.
History.
Yeah,
Making
this is history. Yeah,
A-
but
absolutely it
I
is.
do think these guys do have a lot of animosity because some people are too deep in. Some people have said the most insane things about people's family, children. They putting their kids' name on the screen and hey, look, they'll put somebody's baby picture of somebody's child on a picture of Bud Crawford getting punched in the face. Like they're going too far. People go too far,
I agree.
and somebody's gonna have a day of reckoning for that.
I agree. I really do. And it's crazy how much people need dramatic and trash talk to get motivated for the fight. Are we boxing fans or drama fans? It's true. And the thing is too, is like when you brought up a good point, Mark, when you said like, what do we need to do to get the casuals involved? Because the diehard boxing fans have been waiting for this, but what about the casuals? Like, Mayweather was a household name, De La Hoya, household name, Manny Pacquiao. But why are these guys not resonating with the casuals? Like, why? Why is that?
I
Also,
think,
go ahead.
I was going to say sometimes certain athletes, not just fighters, athletes have an it factor, and there's nothing you could really point to. There's just something that makes that person resonate with the masses, and for whatever reason, Spence and Crawford just don't have it. I think that's what it is.
Also, too, the amateur program in America isn't what it used to be. Christine, you and I, we talked about that a long time ago. Like it was a time back in the day you get a scholarship to college for boxing back in the day.
Yeah.
The
And
amateur
you still
program,
can,
right.
but it's not as known as it was.
It's rare.
It's not as many schools as offering that as well, correct?
Absolutely. That's
But
the thing.
But also back in the day, you would get guys that would go on the Tonight Show, Jay Leno's type
That's
things,
true.
Arsenio Hall, and they would promote these fights. These guys don't do that. They just do it all through the Black Mirror right here on your phone. This is it.
That's true.
And sometimes people think that's enough. Now, could they do more? Yeah. But I don't recall Manny Pacquiao and Oscar doing a lot of trash talking to sell that fight. Two wholesome good guys went in there and they sold the fight and they did crazy numbers. Shane Mosley versus any of those guys. Shane Mosley went up there talking a lot of trash. He did good numbers with Oscar and Manny Pacquiao. So I'll just go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think the thing that's changed is that promoters are not doing the job that they used to do back in the day. They're not promoting their fighters the way they did back in the day. Now it's like with social media and everything else, the boxers have to promote themselves, and not everybody has that personality. Not everybody has the right people around them. So I think that's also a problem. But I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
No, but like just in general, boxing isn't as popular in the U.S. like it used to be. Like as overall as a sport, it's not. And I'm seeing more and more arenas with empty seats all the time on TV right now. Right, Fundora fighting in Los Angeles, I think, or not. I don't think it was Los Angeles, but somewhere in California, and it was half empty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how does that happen?
Yeah.
And he's fighting Mendoza. Like it's crazy. Bam Rodriguez isn't selling out in San Antonio. Like something's up. Like something's just not right. Progress can't sell anything in New Orleans. Like something's up with boxing in general, right? I do think Bud and Spence are going to sell. I do. I think it's going to do good numbers. Right? It's not going to be a failure, but it's not going to do whether we like it or not. It's not going to do what Ryan Tank did, right? And look, Ryan Tank is not as good of a fight.
So really, you don't believe that they're going to do what Ryan Tank did?
I think it's unlikely. But let me make this point. Look at the quality of fighters overall and the accomplishments of both. All right. Tank is a one division champion. He's not a 3-division champion. Right? I don't count those Reggie belts, right? Ryan's never been a world champion. Those two guys sold 1.2 million. If things were the way they're supposed to be, then if that did 1.2 million, Crawford Spence should do like 2 million, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But Whether or not it surpasses what that fight, I don't think it is. I think it's going to do good numbers. I think it'll do like 800,000 or something like that. Those are good numbers, but it's not going to do what that fight did. It just isn't. That's the world of boxing we're in, right? Like for whatever reason, Tank Davis is more popular than both Spence and Crawford. He's more well known. He does higher gates than them when he fights. He did $4 million in $1 million gate in New York. In Atlanta, he sold it out. When he went to the Staples Center, he sold it out. He's more popular than those two guys. That's just the way it is, right? Unfair, not fair, what it is. There's just something about Tank. He has an it factor about him that both Spence and Crawford don't have. That's just how I feel about it.
He knocks dudes out. And he had the benefit. He has a lot of knockouts, and he had the luxury and the benefit of coming up under those Mayweather undercards. A lot of big Mayweather undercards where he would go there and spark the guy, and Mayweather give you a 12-round fight. I think he benefited from that. And I don't know I know people always say he sold out every time he come to Atlanta. He sold out. I was at that fight, that Gamboa fight. And I'm one of those people. I like to walk around the arena. I don't care where I'm sitting at. I like to get there early. I like to walk around, see what's going on. They had some stuff blocked off for Tank. It was some arena, some of the seats high up. It was blacked out and blocked off. They didn't sell those seats. They wasn't even available to buy. So
I heard about that.
It's a myth like that he sold it out. I know people who when we went there, we moved down and we kind of stole a couple seats. You know what I'm saying? Like it was some available seats, so we just went on down.
Do what you gotta do.
So it wasn't a 360 sellout like it's been advertised. Even the Shakur fight, it was like he sold it out with Jamel Herring. Yeah, no, he didn't, man, because I was on the third row for that fight.
Isn't that something?
And I didn't pay for that seat. You know what I'm saying? And we had a lot. It was like 5 of us sitting there. We just took those seats.
Yeah,
on the
that's
third
what you
row.
do. And that happens a lot. It happens a lot. Or they'll tell you to come down, come closer to the ring so that on the camera.
Yeah. Also, too,
like
with Tank Davis, Tank Davis has embraced that hip hop side of things like that. He's in a nightlife. He's always with the rappers. He's trying to move like a rapper sometimes, and I think that stands out. People like a bad boy. He gets in trouble. People like to see that. People's like, oh, well, what's going on? And he's from a city in a state where he's pretty much the only guy out of Maryland like that that's doing anything. Errol has a lot of competition in Texas. Bud, I don't know, and Bud is just too quiet. But yeah. I heard a guy say Bud looks like he does the fight. After he wins the fight, he goes home and work on the cars and changes on oil and everything. He just like he's just a regular guy. He's a family guy. He stays out for the most part. He stays out of trouble, and people like a bad boy. People want to see you talk crazy.
They do. They
like a Adrian Broner type personality, but those guys like Adrian Broner, that I think Bud said it best. He said, you get all these guys that are exciting outside the ring and they can talk a good game, but they get in there and give you a snooze fest, or they're gonna hug all night, or it ain't no exciting fight. Errol and him, they're quiet outside the ring, but when you get in that ring, it's gonna be exciting. I got a question for you guys. What would be a success for this event, and what would be disappointing numbers for this event?
So I'm not good with numbers. I'm not, but I just really believe that I think they're gonna do better than Tank did, in my opinion. I just really do, because I believe that although there's a lot of casuals that don't know who they are, there's so many more boxing heads that do know who they are, and the casuals are ones that know Tank, but they're not the ones that are gonna spend the money. Like we're gonna spend the money. We're gonna fly our asses down there, and we're gonna make sure that we're at least in the building, because we're diehards. And I believe there's many of us out there. And then I believe that the pay-per-view numbers are going to do well. Like the numbers on TV, I think they're going to do well. Like I really do. I disagree. I don't always disagree with D-Style, but I have to disagree with him on this one. Like I think the numbers are going to do well.
It would be better for boxing if it did, but we'll see. But I'll say this. I need to know what the gate. They haven't released what the gate is. Like what's the gate? And the reason I'm saying that, the gate tells you a lot about demand, and it tells you a lot about what people are willing to spend. So, when I saw that Garcia Tank did like 22 million, I think they said at the gate, I knew it was going to do over $1 million. Right? I have like a little formula and I said it'll do over 1 million for sure. So I gotta know what that is, but anything over like 700,000 is a success in my mind.
Okay. What about you, Mark? Your own question. Like, what's your answer to that?
I want to see 1 million buys for this fight, man. I want them to do record-breaking numbers. I want to see them shock the world to show that, hey, you can get two Americans, whether they black or not. You know what I'm saying? Get two Americans in there.
I like that.
Two undefeated guys going for everything. I want to believe boxing is alive and well. I want to believe that, hey, these guys are taking a risk and they're going to get their reward at the end of this rainbow. You know, that pot of gold at the end of this rainbow. I think they both deserve it. Yeah, I'm Team Crawford all day. I crack some jokes on Errol Spence, Kissy Fish, call him Guppy, call his fans Guppy Gang. You know, they get on my show, they be like, boop, 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 talking like fish. I don't get it. Yeah, I talk a little. I troll Errol Spence fans, but I believe this fight matters.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Floyd and Manny, that fight didn't matter that much.
I agree.
It was past
too
his
late in the
time.
game.
Nothing on the
Too late in the game. This is not
Manny
too
had
late
been
in the
knocked
game.
right. Manny been knocked out. He got outpointed and knocked out. Actually, he had back-to-back. He got outpointed by Bradley. Then said, I think I won, so I'm not gonna fight him again. Then he goes in there and get knocked out and sparked by Marquez, right? So
yeah.
And then he had a couple years happen. They got to build the fight back up again. This fight is not past its prime. Both of these guys are undefeated. These guys ain't in there getting beat up all the time. These guys are it's undisputed. Everything is on the line. So I want to see this fight happen. I want to see this fight do great numbers. So 300,000. I mean, matter of fact, I'll say 500. I'll be disappointed if it only did 500,000 buys. I would be utterly disappointed. And I'm of the belief it's gonna do Tank and Ryan type numbers because and even with that fight, nothing was on the line. Catch weight, you got a guy that I like Ryan Garcia as a personality and as a person, but he's this ain't that. Tank and Ryan, that ain't Spence and Crawford. Okay,
that's me. That's
but here's the thing though, like in my opinion.
Oh, this is my last part, D, and I'll pass it back to you. When I look up these seats for these prices for these seats, nosebleed $700, and it's all gone. You can't buy nothing from them. Everything that you can get now is all resale.
That's right.
And it's not a lot
all
of them. Like even just like a couple rows down from the very last row, it's like $2,000 resale.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh man, this fight gonna do crazy numbers. I know a lot of people going to Vegas just because they want to be in the environment. They want to be there. You know, they want to be a part of it. Like
they'll go watch it on a big screen, but they want to be there. They want to feel that electricity. There's nothing like it. Nothing.
Yeah, there's something like. Look, I'll just say this. I hope it does over 1 million. I think it can do over 1 million. Right. I'm just not like we're gonna have a good idea the closer, like the week of the fight. We're gonna have a good idea when we see the atmosphere in Vegas, and they're gonna have some like we're gonna have an idea, right? I hope it does. I'll just say that. But I wanted to say this. In the same like I think Loma Haney was a much better quality fight, and it did under 200,000. So boxing does not reward. It hasn't rewarded the best fights.
But those guys aren't known to knock dudes out like that. These guys gonna sleep something, bro. And I think that's why people knew when you see those names, Haney and Loma, this going to the cards. We knew that for the most part. This is going to the cards. Right. This one right here, many people, many observers don't believe this is going to the you got a guy who's on a knockout streak. You got another guy who's known to just stop guys. Spence can't stop him. Crawford is known to stop guys. Yeah, and Crawford can stop him. I think that's why this matchup is a little more intriguing.
Texas is just Texas alone. You know how big Texas is? Just Texas alone.
No. Here's where you guys. You're right. So like, there's some precedents for this, right? So neither Trinidad nor De La Hoya did over 1 million, right? They didn't until they fought each other, right? And when they fought each other, that became the first non-heavyweight fight to do over 1 million, and that surprised a lot of people. They did 1.4 million, right? And there was a lot less taxes to pay-per-view. So it's possible, right? But there's just maybe I just want to get my hopes up. So I'm going to say over 700,000. But
get them up. Be
a million is possible.
Get
Come on, D Styles.
Come on, D
Styles.
I haven't seen.
Come on, D Styles. Come on, get on this bus with us, man. Come
I
on,
just,
man.
I just haven't seen the hype like
Say
that, like
1
on the
million,
mainstream media, like I
just
thought there
say
would
it,
be.
B.
I thought there would be more hype. I did.
Well,
What would be
I,
a failure for either of you guys? Like if it does this, like wow, this flopped.
Under 700,000.
Under 7 is a flop for D Styles. Christine, how about you?
God, see, I don't know. Like, I don't think numbers. I really don't. But if I have to put a number on it, I'm gonna go with D Style.
Okay. I'm
Oh
cool with
yeah,
that.
Kelvin Davis potentially break an eye socket. Oh man. Okay. Oh, so he broke the eye socket, Crystal. I missed his fight. I saw he was gonna fight. Thank you for telling us that.
Oh.
So Larry Lopez says Haney versus Lomo candidate for fight of the year. Well, we haven't been to this fight yet. Coming up July 29th. So that's where
Loma
my money is.
Haney, I'll just say this. No one's gonna vote it fight of the year because people want like blood, guts, and like a lot of shit stuff. Like, and I get
I
it.
think
I
we're
do
going to
too.
see it. I think we're going
But
to
I
see it.
just think, like, I will say this though, that Haney Loma fight, as far as skill wise, is the best fight of the year so far. I will say that. But I do think Bud Spence will surpass it.
Absolutely. So your guy, Mark. So we just got the announcement, Nonito fighting for his 10th world title. It was supposed to be this weekend, right? But it's going to be on the undercard of Spence Crawford. That's what I saw. Did y'all see the same thing?
What up? Oh yeah.
They just
That's
moved it to
huge.
move it, or did somebody get injured, or what's the poor ticket sales? What was the reason for the move?
I don't know. I saw the announcement today, and I'm like, cool. I
They
mean, that's
wanted a
going to
better
up the
undercard,
numbers right
maybe?
there too.
Hey, look, that's a great fight for an undercard. I mean, like, I'm not complaining. It gives you more value for your buck for the pay-per-view.
It's huge. His 10th world title, bro. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. I'm excited. I'm glad I'm going to be there. I've seen him fight whenever they were on the World Series, the Muhammad Ali tournament. I went to Lafayette and I saw him there, and I mean, he's exciting. Like, I mean, I'm excited about this. Alejandro Santiago, he's no walkover, he's no pushover. So it's gonna be fire. It really is. What are your thoughts on that, Mark?
I'm overjoyed. I'm overjoyed to say the least. I'm happy for Nonito, Rachel, the whole fam, the team. Y'all already know I'm Team Donaire all day, every day,
Absolutely.
twice on Sunday. I had the opportunity to be a part of this event and create the ring walk music along with DJ JD, the son of Nonito Donaire, 9-year DJ producer.
And he's
so
like 9, right? Isn't he
he's
young?
9, man. He's 9, man. So he made the beat. I was able to he made the beat and actually wrote the bridge. I did the hook and the verse, and
I love it.
I'm just glad to be a part of this event. I thank God for them giving me the opportunity and just blessing me with good people in my circle. I met you through Rachel Donaire as well.
Yes, absolutely. Love her.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm just fortunate to be in this position. I cannot speak on that at all though. That topic right there, just to let you know, I cannot confirm, deny, speak on nothing on that. I'm sorry. But I will say this about Alejandro Santiago, the opponent. He's better than that record shows.
Yeah.
When you start seeing a guy with 5 draws and 6 draws, he probably won some of those fights. And just he was the B-side. So
anytime you see draws, you gotta investigate.
5, 3 losses, 5 draws. Like, come on, man.
Right.
Like it was some hometown cooking in a couple of those, and he's better than his record presents. And I like Alejandro Santiago. Wish him the best of luck, but not tonight though. Not on that night.
Not that night.
I'm with the Filipino Flash, man.
And I don't know who said it. Boxing Vital. Who said it? Somebody said that alone is going to help raise the pay-per-views and the sales too. Like I agree with that. I mean, you have to have a good undercard too, and I think it's going to be fire. Like I'm so excited. Like I can't even wait. I'm gonna leave for work on Sunday, and I'm gonna fly straight to Vegas when camp is over. And I'm just like, look, I'm excited. Absolutely, yes. Shelton Moore said exactly. Nonito will boost pay-per-view sales. So before we like end all of this, I want to go around and y'all tell me something that y'all want everybody to know in boxing, with yourself, whatever, where can people find you, or what are you fucking excited about? Like what's going on in your boxing brain?
D Styles, go ahead.
Well, it's not gonna be something good, but it's time for Mauricio Sulaiman to strip Jamal Charlo. I'll say that. Look,
I think a lot of people
I
agree
think,
with you
I mean,
there.
just think about this. He's offered the opportunity of a lifetime that he didn't really deserve, to be honest, to fight Canelo, and he doesn't do it because he's not ready, right? You're not ready. Like,
You
if you're not
gotta,
ready,
you
you're
gotta
not
stay
going to
ready,
get up.
right?
Look, if you're not going to get up for a Canelo fight, when are you going to get up for any fight? Honestly, when? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And then, like, it's hard to believe they're twin brothers because, like, his own brother, like, seized the opportunity, like, ASAP. Like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Of course, I'm going to do this. You're asking me, like,
Right.
yes. And I just saw a clip yesterday. I don't know when this was, but and it tells you everything about them. Jamal's crying and telling the host of the podcast that he loves them, and you understand me. I don't even talk to my little brother about this because he doesn't understand me. And Jamal's like, "Well, I'm heartless. I'm going for all the belts." So he's talking about Jamal's talking about like what he wants to do for his legacy, and this dude's talking about his problems. And then I'm hearing Mauricio tell me that the WBC stands behind Jamal. We're not going to take any more questions about Jamal. We know he's been inactive, but I've already given an explanation. I defer to my explanation from before. And you know what? We stand behind him no matter what. Because he's going through a lot. He's going through mental illness. But I just saw a post from him from Instagram, right? He does an Instagram live, and he's bragging about how he was. Well, I don't know if he was bragging, but he was saying, "Oh, I was cheating." What happened was I was cheating on my baby mama, and
Oh
and,
my
and
God.
yeah, he's talking about how he cheated on his baby
Take
mama.
that to a counselor.
Yeah, look, I could play the clip right now. If you want to hear it,
Yeah, let's go.
Let's hear it.
I could play it while I bring it. Look, let's play this right now, okay? Hold on. It is kind of hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. It is funny, but then it's not funny when you realize they haven't stripped him yet, and the WBC's feeling sorry for him. All right. Well, hold on. Let me bring it up. Hold on. Give me a second. Hold on. What's going on?
Is this the one where he looks like he in like a tattoo shop? His shirt off in a tattoo parlor. It's like some green stuff around him. Like
yeah.
green. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I made a mistake. I was cheating on my baby mama. I'm sorry. We back cool now, even though she even taking me to court. You know what I'm saying? But then now, I was cheating on my baby mama with my girlfriend, but my girlfriend got mad and she left too. So then what the fuck I'm doing now? All right, I gotta go. Yeah,
You gotta go, brother. You gotta log out of Instagram ASAP. Look, man, I'm just not. If his problems if he's so paralyzed from a mental illness, I'm not gonna like take light in that. I know people that suffer from mental illness. It's no joke, right? But here's the thing: the rest of the world doesn't stop for you, right? If I can't go do my job because I'm suffering through mental illness.
Right.
I'm sure my job will be empathetic and be like, "Hey, go get better. When you feel better, come back." But they're not they're gonna fill my spot.
They're not gonna freeze your position until you get it together.
Like, why does Adames need to wait for it? Like, how long does he need to wait to get a shot? How long do all these other fighters need to wait for their shot? Because this guy's going through something. Okay, make him champion emeritus. Make him, and then just go get better, and then when you feel better, let us know, and then we'll give you your title shot right away. You'll be the first one in line, whatever it is. But they need to strip him. At this point, they need to strip this guy.
I agree. I have much
800 days, no fight. 800 days. He wasn't ready for the Canelo fight. It's going to be 800 days. How long do we wait? Like, is it 1,000 days? 2,000 days? I just want how long before the strip?
800 days. Wow.
That's all I gotta say.
On the flip side of that, though, I don't like the Jamel Charlo Canelo matchup. I don't like the matchup for Jamel, and I think it's unfair to Tim Tszyu. But look at that division right there. He's gonna go. He hasn't defended that belt all year long, right? So Tim Tszyu and the whole division of 154 don't get a chance to get their title shot because he wants to dare to be great. It's a money grab. It's a money grab.
Yeah,
I
look,
get it.
here's where I'll agree with you. And this is what made it worse. What makes a whole like it's already bad as it is from the surface, but when you know the details, so I had the unfortunate privilege of knowing a lot of these details. So the Jermel side was telling the Tim Tszyu side, "Oh, everything is done. Don't worry, we're just waiting on this Canelo news to pass because Canelo is dominating the headlines right now. So once it dies down a little bit, we're gonna make the big announcement." So, and then we're going to announce the fight for October. Tim Tszyu's side was already preparing to book flights, hotels, getting camp ready to go to Vegas and get sparring part. They were already assuming that it was a done deal. They were making plans. People in their camp were making plans. The chef was making plans. Everybody was already making plans because they were told everything is agreed to. It's all said and done. We're just waiting to make the announcement at the right time. And they don't even get like a courtesy call, like not even like hey, just want to give you the heads up, and we're very sorry, or not that it would make it better, but like not even that. Like they wake up the next morning.
They found out like we found out.
Yeah, like Tim Tszyu's manager honestly thought Canelo made a mistake and confused the Charlo brothers, right?
Mhm.
And then and he said Tim Tszyu texted him and was like, "This can't be right. And we're already making plans. PBC invited us to the Spence Crawford fight to go promote the fight."
Wow.
Like so this is it was just the craziest thing. So yeah, I feel bad for Tim Tszyu. I mean, there's no other way to put
Did
it.
they have? It sounds like they just had a conversation though. D Styles. I didn't hear nothing about anything in writing in that soliloquy.
No. Actually,
Yeah,
no.
it sounds like it was a
The fight,
conversation for sure.
they already had everything in writing. The fight from January was never canceled. It was postponed.
Mm.
They have to scrap that contract, and I don't know what the consequences of that will be, but it'll be nothing to them for the money they're going to get for the Canelo fight. The contract was already done. And then they agreed to the date, right? And they were just told, "Oh, we're going to go ahead and exercise it, and we're going to make the announcement for the date." That's what they were told, right? So, and there was no reason for them to not assume, because if you go back, look back to the Harrison and the Castaño fight. All they were doing was talking about Jermell after Tim Tszyu's fight. The whole broadcasting. Jermell. Oh, you think Jermell's ready? Oh, I think he's ready for Jermell now. This and that. So,
Right.
look, all I could tell you is that No Limit, Tim Tszyu's management team, and Tim Tszyu himself were under the impression that the fight was a go, and they were just waiting for the Canelo news of him fighting Jamal to drop, and then they were going to announce Tim Tszyu versus Jamal.
That's disheartening for him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you guys speak about Kristen? You give us your opinion. What you thought about Fury and Ngannou possibly happening?
So look, I've always been a fan of Fury. I have. Like, I think he's
See what you get?
entertaining outside of the ring, in the ring. Like, I like him. I do. But his tactics lately, and then him fighting Ngannou, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's absolutely ludicrous. Like, I don't care. I don't care. It's to me, it's a slap in the face of boxing, especially the heavyweight division. I really do. I'm very disappointed in him. I really am.
Should he be stripped?
Yeah.
But there's a bad precedent. If they haven't stripped Jamal, hasn't fought in 800 days.
I mean, that's true. But see, that's a good point. Exactly. And if they did immediately, then what? You know, what's going on over here? You know, so it's just all fucked up.
Like, all he has to do is sue the WBC, and then in court they just show, well, looking for Jamal. He hasn't fought in 800 days. Well, they're stripping me.
That's true.
I just
you're
defended against a mandatory back in just not even a year ago.
It's true. It's true.
So I mean, there's
Jamal got a doctor's note.
Jamal got a doctor's note. And here's the other thing about the crazy part about the Tim Tszyu fight.
So does Virgil. He has a doctor's note too.
But
Here's a different organization. That's not WBC though. That's WBA.
I know. I'm just saying.
Isn't it crazy how his hand felt great? Like, yeah, no problem with his hand. As soon as Canelo gave him a call, he probably answered the phone with that hand, right? Like it was just like no problem. because
Yeah.
it was Canelo. You know what I mean? Another point about the Tim Tszyu situation before I comment on Fury, they made him wait half a year for the fight, and then he canceled last minute because of the injury,
Yeah.
and then he fights like the next best guy in Harrison, and then he's waiting another half a year for you, and then you move on to fight Canelo. That
He fought
is
after
crazy.
Harrison. Oh, look, then he fought after Harrison. He fought Ocampo.
Right,
after
then he
that.
fought Ocampo
Exactly.
just to stay busy, right? And he stayed kind of respectful, actually. He said, "Hey, don't worry, champ, get better. You know, whenever you're better, we'll fight."
Mhm.
He just he went for the bag. He was like, "I'm out." You know what I mean? He was like that dude.
I mean,
that
who
just-
can blame him? Really?
yeah, like Tim Tszyu was left at the altar. You know what I mean?
No,
That's
you're
what
right.
happened.
Absolutely.
Like
I
he
agree.
stayed faithful this whole time, and last minute Jamal ran off with Canelo and shit. Like, what's going on over here? Hey, but look,
A good Catholic boy he was.
Christine, I mean, that's what you get for being such a big Fury fan. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you get.
You're right, and I was, and I mean, I got shit for it, but I was. I liked him in the ring. I liked him outside of the ring. But these tactics lately,
Yeah, look, the thing with Fury, I just don't understand the logic behind this fight. So I keep hearing people defending the fighter like, well, he tried to do a sick fight. He tried to do the fight with the Zhang. He tried everything. Nobody wanted to fight. Like, you're supposed to believe nobody wanted to fight Tyson Fury. Like, you got to be nobody wanted to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world and make millions. Nobody. And you had no choice but to fight a novice. Like, you had no choice. That's the only dude that will fight you.
But look, Cooking with the Champ, he ain't lying. Look, boxing versus MMA is circus money. Like,
It's a novelty.
they make
Look,
money. And
yeah,
what's the name of the
Christine.
game? Like, we know boxing is a business, and we
Yeah,
don't
but
like
Christine,
it.
But hear me out, though. Hear me out. Look, it's a novelty, and the problem with novelties, they wear out. They wear off. Like, when Mayweather did it against McGregor, like to that level, it had never been done before. Mayweather was basically a retired fighter. He was not the reigning welterweight champion of the world, and he didn't give Conor McGregor a title shot. Right? That's number one. He wasn't holding up a division. He was like none of that. Right?
It was a farewell fight. It was a farewell fight.
It was just a cheap way to get to 50-0. I will say that. But at the end of the day, he was basically, he came back from retirement pretty much for that fight, right? Fury is the reigning, defending, or I shouldn't even say defending, but he's the reigning, non-defending heavyweight champion of the world right now.
Yeah.
Like there is some historic prestige that comes with that. Right?
Absolutely.
And a responsibility that comes with that. A lot of the greats fought for that belt, right?
Yeah.
And represented themselves as heavyweight champion of the world. You can go all the way back, okay, from the Jack Johnson, Jack Dempsey, Rocky Marciano, Sonny Liston, Ali, Frazier, Foreman, you name it. There's been a long list of champions. Recently, Lennox Lewis, whatever. But my point is, there's just something prestigious and unique about the heavyweight championship of the world, and I think he's slapping it in the face right now.
I agree with you.
And he's doing it for a payday that, I mean, this guy isn't living in a box. He's a multi-millionaire. He doesn't need this money. He was going to make multi-millions of dollars no matter who the fuck he fought anyway.
Yeah.
And this is, I don't know. I don't like it. And then he's coming off the Chisora fight. I mean, give me a break.
No. I agree.
Hey, look, y'all okay with Canelo fighting Jamil 2 weight classes under 2, though, right?
Yeah, but I'm not going to compare a Jamel fight to Ngannou.
Difficulty level about the same for me.
I don't agree with that.
Might as well be like Jamel fighting this guy.
No, but there's precedent.
And he's coming off like a 1.5 year layoff, and you going up 2 divisions. Come on, man, you holding up the division. I think both of those guys are wrong.
Precedence though for a guy moving up to weight classes and winning, right? That's happened before.
Hopkins in modern day boxing right now, coming off a 1.5 year layoff, going up 2 divisions, fighting pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world. So it's a tall order right there, man.
I don't need to go to Henry Armstrong to do it. Like I could go with Hopkins Tarver. I could go with Broner Malignaggi. I could go with plenty of fights.
Broner wasn't coming off a 1.5 year layoff, and Paulie wasn't considered pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world.
Well, neither was Broner. So
checkmate. Thank you.
No, I'm saying it was about the equal level. What I'll say is this. Jermell Charlo is a pound for pound fighter, in my opinion. He's one of the best fighters in the sport, one of the most accomplished fighters in the sport. It isn't my number one choice, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's a bad fight. Like, I don't think it's in
Nobody asked for this though, D Styles. Nobody was asking for this fight. And then they're just giving it to us and we're like, all right, well, I'll just take it in. That's what they're gonna give me. Nobody's asking for this. Where's the pressure on Canelo? Like, no. And look, and then
It's
I
gonna
heard
sound
Jamal
more than
saying,
butter suspense, I'll tell you that.
and then I heard Jamal say, hey, look, I'm fighting him next. You gonna fight him next. So we're okay with Canelo fighting Jamel at one coming off an injury, layoff for a year and a half. Then you're gonna fight the other Charlo who's coming off at that point by next year in May is gonna be what? Like
1,000
1,000
days or something.
days. We're okay with that. When I heard he was going to PBC, I thought I was going to get to see Benavidez, Morrell, Andrade, something like that. Fight somebody in the division. You about to fight 2 of your 3 fight deal is going to be guys who ain't even in the division.
Look,
We okay
you're
with it. We
making
just gonna buy that fight.
you're making a great point about the inactivity of Jamal, but look, I'll say this: Canelo's been extremely active. Canelo has had 8 fights in the last 3 years. So
I ain't knocking Canelo. But I don't want to see Canelo holding up the division because by that, bro, that
I don't think
he fought his mandatory in May. Okay, who's gonna get to fight him at 168 for the title this year?
Let's
A 154 pounder?
But let's do this.
That's what we got to deal with. And then next
though.
year in May, he gonna fight the other brother, a 160 pounder.
No,
Come
look,
on, man.
I
That's
agree
trash,
with you,
bro.
I agree with a lot of what you're saying. However,
And they're gonna charge us $100 for the pay-per-view. Don't forget that, D Styles. We're gonna be paying about 85.
and people are going to
89.
buy it, like whether we like it or not. They're going to buy it. But here's what I want to say. You see, let's compare that division 168 before Canelo arrived to when he arrived. Right? Let's just make a quick comparison. Before Canelo arrived to the division, there was 4 champions, right? You had Callum Smith, you had Billy Joe Saunders, you had David Benavidez, you had Caleb Plant, right? 4 champions. 2 of each were in the same promotional outfit. They never fought each other for years, right? Benavidez, Plant never fought each other. The promoter admitted that they marinated the fight for 5-6 years, right? To make it bigger. Okay, that's what Sampson said. Billy Joe and Callum Smith never fought each other. Benavidez lost his title at the scale. All right, he didn't make weight. Canelo shows up to the division, and he fights 4 times in 1 year and unifies 3 of the belts. All 4 belts. He becomes undisputed, right? He moved up to fight Bivol, right, 175 pounds. He finished his trilogy with Triple G. Not a lot of people were excited for
You
that
forgot
fight.
about the Kovalev fight. Add the Kovalev fight in there too. He went up, fought Kovalev, came back too.
Well, that was before he went up to. That was before his run at 168. But
Okay.
so that was way before that. But what I'm saying is this: this is a very active fighter. And now, if people want to say, "Oh, Canelo's holding up the division," I would argue. If you want to argue the train is moving slow, okay, fine. The train is moving slow. But before Canelo showed up, the train wasn't even moving. Right? All 4 champions were fighting trash opponents. Trash contenders.
What does that have to do with him fighting a 54-pounder and fighting a 160-pounder?
No. I'm making a point about Canelo holding up the division, right? If Canelo fought once a year, would you prefer that? If he just fought once a year like Spence does and like all these other guys been doing?
Bro, none of that have to do with him fighting 154.
He just fought a mandatory
again, and he's about to fight a guy coming up to division, coming off a 1.5-year layoff and an injury. And then he's going to fight the other brother who's going to be on a 1,000-day layoff, and we okay with that.
Look, like I'm not saying I'm
trying
killing
to talk
Jamal
about what he
fight.
did 2 years ago when he got undisputed.
I'm not-
Congratulations. I've rooted for him. I'm happy for him. This 2023, man.
I understand it's 2023.
So
but
we only
you're not putting things in-
168
You're not putting things in perspective.
So
Again,
only 168
if he
pounder
did it
in the
this way
whole
instead-
year is going to get a shot.
let's say
Mendoza.
he did this instead. Let's say he
Not
just
Mendoza.
fought once every 16 months,
Tom
like
Ryder.
Spence does, right? Let's just say he fought once every 16 months. He still wouldn't be undisputed. That's moving the train a
This
lot
ain't got
slower.
nothing to do with Canelo.
It does
Canelo the
have
face
everything
of
to do
boxing.
with it.
Ain't Canelo the face of boxing? He the cash cow,
What
right?
does that have to do with the point I'm making?
I'm talking about at least Spence is fighting a welterweight. He's not bringing. You know what this is? This the
He didn't
equivalent of-
always fight a
this-
welterweight. He
this-
fought Mikey
no-
Garcia.
No, and at least okay, I get you on that, Mikey. But Mikey gradually came though. At least Mikey fought Broner.
How
He
long?
had-
When
he fought
did
Broner,
Spence
right?
beat Brook, brother? Well, when did he beat,
Let me ask you this:
when did he beat
this
Brook?
would be the equivalent of Devin Haney fighting the winner of Spence and Crawford. Y'all would lose your mind.
No,
they
no, but
brought
let's
up a
not
guy
lose the
2 divisions
timeline.
like
I
Devin
would.
Haney.
Hold up. Let's not lose the timeline. When did Spence beat Crawford? I'm sorry, Cal
Never.
Brook.
And he ain't gonna never beat Crawford.
No, Cal Brook. I agree with that. But Cal Brook, when did he beat Cal Brook? What year? 2016, 17?
A long time ago.
Long
How many
time
years
I
is
don't
that?
know. I don't know, but this guy, but at least
So for
Spence
anybody
has
saying
at
at
Canelo's
least
holding
Spence has an
anything
excuse.
up,
He got injured.
No,
Spence
no,
had a
for-
horrific car accident, flipped
Because
over
I-
18 times.
No,
Spence had a torn retina.
I get that, but
And I
that
can't
was
believe I'm up here defending Errol Spence. Get me out of here. Somebody save me.
but after that he's only fought like what, twice since that, 3 times at the most. So what? So Garcia Uga since then.
2018. Okay.
I mean, I just think like
Thank you.
all I'm saying is this.
What's the unification bout?
Okay, no, I understand that, but again, if Canelo moved the train the way other fighters do, he would still be like doing the plant fight right now, right? He fast tracked the process, and I think people are just getting a little too carried away with saying he's holding up the division. He's not holding anything up.
Sir, the division, like, I get where you're coming from, and
all I'm
congratulations. But what I'm trying to say, my brother, is this. This is 2023. He fought his
aware.
mandatory.
Yes.
The rest of this year, he is not going to fight somebody in the division. He's bringing up a guy 2 divisions. We can agree to that, right?
He's
That's
fighting.
what's happening.
He's fighting another pound for pound fighter. Yes.
2 divisions under him.
Okay.
Okay.
They're
Y'all
the
will
same
lose your
size,
mind.
bro.
Y'all will
Fight
lose
night.
your mind if Crawford or Spence is going to fight Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson next.
Oh, for
Or
sure.
Tank Davis. They pound for pound. It's 2 divisions under them. It's the same thing, right? Go ahead. Put Tank Davis in there with Crawford and Spence next. It's a big fight. Let's do it. Man, that's crazy, man. Y'all know that don't sound
I
right.
agree with that.
Put Devin Haney in
I
there.
don't know
That
about
don't
that.
sound right.
Canelo fought Kovalev. People thought
And
that
look,
was
and we
crazy.
see, and it's not like we haven't seen Jamel get outboxed before. He had a draw with
He
Castaño.
eventually-
People
he
thought he
eventually-
lost. He lost to Harrison. Clearly, some people thought he won, but the judges said
He
no,
lost.
you lost. That's what happens. Do y'all think those guys can beat Canelo? You think Harrison can go in there and beat Canelo? That
Yeah,
Harrison
I
to beat
don't.
Jamel? Do you think the Castaño that got a draw with Charlo was going there and do something?
I
Canelo?
don't.
I got Canelo beating both of them in the same night. That's how much
I'll be honest with
Canelo.
you. I'll be very honest with you. I think Shermel will beat a lot of these 168 pounders. To be honest with you, I'm not too sure Plant beats Shermel. I'm just
Man,
not.
Canelo-
just think. Look, he was going to move up to
And
160.
here's another thing. Maybe this is just it. I think Canelo is so good. That's my problem. I think he is great. He's a walking Hall of Famer. Easy.
Sure.
My point is with this is I've seen Canelo take shots from Bivol, and Bivol couldn't drop him. He didn't wobble him. He didn't make him do the stanky leg, the butterfly, Tootsie Roll, none of that.
Yeah, that's true.
And he came in, he weighed in at 170. How much y'all think Bivol weight rehydrated to? About 183, 185, 188? What y'all think?
I would say about the high, like
Pick-
maybe
pick-
mid
pick-
180.
pick the highest.
My guys fought Bivol, and he hits like a Mack truck.
Pick the highest weight, whatever that is. That guy
20 pounds.
didn't let's just say 20. Let's say he came in there 195. That guy did not drop, stop, wobble, break, or bend Canelo. Canelo couldn't beat him. He outboxed him. But he was seeing Canelo clean, Canelo hitting clean.
Yeah,
That guy couldn't do nothing to Canelo, man, other than outbox him and outpoint him.
and he can.
Canelo's getting used to getting hit by bigger guys. I seen Jensen Banana Rosario snapping Charlo headband. I seen Castaño catch him and make him do like
this,
that.
though, right? Let me say this.
Getting hit by bigger guys matters,
Samuel.
D-Style. That's
Samuel.
all. I'm saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see. Like I'm not like obviously I get what you're saying, but listen to what you're saying. When Canelo fights bigger guy, Canelo's been the smaller guy for every single one of his fights since the Khan fight. He's been a smaller man, frame wise, everything. You look at him and Ryder. Ryder was obviously bigger than him frame wise, right? He's been like so, and I don't believe that he's that much bigger than Jermell. I don't. I think Jermell cuts weight to make 154.
I ain't talking about the height or the frame. He's used to getting hit by bigger guys.
No,
and
what I'm
those
trying
guys
to tell
ain't
you
hurting him.
is,
You think 154
why
pound dude
can't
got to go in there and hurt
Jermell
him?
try to chase greatness? Why can't
He's
he
chasing
try
a
to be great?
paycheck.
How do you know that?
I know that because he's fighting Canelo. He's going up 2 divisions. He picked
obviously
up the
he's gonna
phone
make
with the
money.
Buchanan, like you said, D-Style.
It's prize
And what
fighting,
you-
so obviously he needs to get paid for fighting. But what I'm
All
saying
right, all
is,
right. Well, shoot. Let Fury go fight Ngannou then. Let's not talk
I
about
don't
that too.
think.
Then.
Look. I agree with you 100% about the Jamal fight. 100%. I don't want to see that fight. But the Jamal fight, I just feel differently, and I'll tell you why. I think Jamal's built
You
different
want to
than
see
his brother.
Canelo beat that ass? That's all it is.
No. I'm a big fan. Like you just gotta go. You just gotta take the receipts. I've been nothing but complimentary of Jamal for 3-4 years straight. Right? I think very highly of Jamal. Right? and in my opinion, look, I just feel like he has the right to chase greatness if he wants. This is his opportunity to do what B Hop did against Tarver. People said B Hop was crazy. Then he went out there and he beat Tarver. This was a Tarver coming off knocking out Roy Jones Jr. And he jumped up to weight classes and he did it. And people said he was crazy.
What is going to
right?
happen next?
And he was coming off a loss to Jermaine Taylor on top of that, right? So, like, there are fights throughout boxing history where guys can move up. They're pound for pound fighters, and they want to chase greatness. Jamal is dangerous because he has nothing to lose. Yeah, of course, he's doing it for the payday. I'm not delusional. Of course, I get that, but I do believe there's also a competitive side in Jamal that believes he could win this fight. And I think he's dangerous in this fight, to be honest with you. I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised when first half of that fight, at least, Jamal's going to be in that fight. And I think he's going to land some shots on Canelo. And I think he's going to be in the fight. I think he's dangerous in this fight.
You think he's going to win the fight, D-Star?
I'm not picking him to win the fight.
Checkmate. There we go.
But guess what? I picked him to beat – I picked Canelo to beat Bivol. How did that go for me?
Not that
right?
well.
Right. So what I'm saying is, I just look. I was picking Tim Tszyu to beat him, right? Not because I think Jamal's a bad fighter. I just thought it's Tim Tszyu's time, but I just think it's going to be a far more difficult fight than people
You got
think.
Tim Tszyu
Canelo
beating
slowing
him,
down.
but you think he's going to give Canelo a tough fight? Man,
I
we
mean,
just got
I've
to
seen
take
Canelo
it.
fight his last few fights. He's slowing down. He's not looking the same. He's getting hit more. Okay, this is a guy with almost 60 fights. There's a lot of wear and tear. Jamal's in his prime. Jamal's right now. He's undisputed champion. He's ready to go. I'm just telling you guys right now. You're going to be pleasantly surprised how good Jamal does.
Yeah,
in that fight.
I can agree, D-Style, that like recently in the latter fights, like I've seen some things in Canelo that kind of worries me a little.
It's going to be tougher than the Ryder fight. Can you agree with that?
What'd you say?
It's going to be a tougher fight than the Ryder fight.
I do agree with that. I do, and I have seen some
I think
things,
Jamal.
but
Look, Mark. I think Jamal could move up to 168 and beat John Ryder. I believe that.
First fight coming off a year and a half
Yes.
layoff, and a broken hand.
He would beat John Ryder.
Okay. Well, I guess we got to table this one for now, and I'm sure we're going to talk about this more as time progresses. I do have one more question for you.
absolutely.
What do you guys think is going on with the WBO? They sent out pretty much told Teofimo Lopez, you gotta make a decision what you're gonna do. After that, Haney has 24 hours. I hate that. 24 hours.
Damn.
To make his decision on do you want to fight the WBO? If so, Barbosa and I forgot Barbosa and somebody is going to go into negotiations. But if Haney decides to move up, or if Teos decides to keep the belt, they're going to cancel the Barbosa negotiations. What do you guys think is going on with that in the WBO? Teo and Haney possibly fighting Regis. Haney might be fighting Regis.
I like the fact that they told Teo, look, you got to shit or get off the pot. I don't like the fact that they only gave 24 hours. Like that, I don't like.
Not him.
But
he doesn't have 24. Haney has 24 hours.
No, Haney. I don't like the fact that Haney has 24 hours. I don't like that. I don't think that's fair. Because Teo's the one that decided to retire, or whatever. But I do like the fact that they're saying, look, bro, like, what are you gonna do? But I don't like the fact that they only gave Haney 24 hours. So I mean, there's a disconnect there. But they do have to be stricter on our champions that don't want to do shit, like Charlo sitting on the belts and like other people sitting on the belts, and just like Haney retiring. Teo retiring. Like, are you retired? Are you not retired? Like, what are we doing? But I don't think that it's fair that Haney only has 24 hours. I will say that.
I'm just trying to understand these sanctioning bodies. They're just weird to me. They just make up different rules. They make it up as they go.
I agree
If
with
this
that.
wasn't Teofimo, this was just Joe Schmo or some shit like that old dude that was putting hands on Raleigh. and they stopped it early, if it was him and he said I'm retiring, they would have stripped him right away. Like they're not even playing games, right? They should have asked Teal when he said it. He should have been given 24 hours to tell him, are you really retiring or not?
Absolutely, I agree with that.
But as far as like 24 hours for Haney, but then why are you ordering Barboza and Ramirez anyway? And then you're gonna like they need it more than Haney does, but then you're gonna take it away if Haney decides that he wants to fight for 140. Like, I just don't. Just make your decisions and just announce them. You know, like
Well, it's everything is dependent on Tio right now, though. D Styles.
I don't know what's up with Tio. Like, I'm still, by the way, I'm still questioning. Like, Tio's like he's got peaks. Like, he's either like phenomenal on fight night or he's like terrible, right?
Yeah.
Like Nakatani, he looked that good in that fight. Like, but he pulled it off. But you know, and then he looked amazing against Comey and Loma. And then he looked terrible against Cambozas. You know, then he looks terrible against the Spaniard, and then he looks great.
Champa, or something like
that. No, Martin.
Sandor Martin.
Yeah. And then he looks phenomenal against. So look, I just know it's going to happen. I'm going to pick Teofimo Lopez. I'm going to be very confident in the pick, and then he's going to turn around and lose because he's not going to be there for that night. Like that's Teofimo in a nutshell, right? I'm still questioning how stable he is. You know, like we know he's talented. We know Teofimo at his best, and I mean this when I say this, I would favor him at his best against anybody at 140 and anybody at 135. Yeah. Anybody. But I don't know what Teal we're gonna get on fight night. I just don't. Right. So I don't even know if what he's gonna do with this WBO situation. I just don't know. But I think if a fighter announces his retirement, just strip him, like Tyson Fury, your boy Christine. Like he announced his retirement, and then the WBC's like, well, we're going to give him 6 months to make a decision. Like 6 months. Like what the fuck are you on, bro?
Right? Never heard of it.
He's been a great champion, and we will give him the time to spend time with his family and make a decision. Like, nah, bro. Like, let's move on, dude. And that's all I'm saying. By the way,
I agree. You're right.
Look, I get that a lot of people ain't giving Jermell a shot in hell. I get it. But some of you in the chat are talking like, really? Somebody put, as soon as Canelo lands a punch, it's over. Like, come on, stop. He's going to touch him. Like, Canelo doesn't have the touch of death. All right? I'm just saying.
The touch of death.
He's fighting Jermell, not Khan in a rematch, guys. Okay, like it's Jermell Charlo.
Of death. Okay, so I lost track of where we were and who was saying the last words and what was the final thing.
Oh yeah, you was asking us anything we want to talk about in boxing, so I just been shooting off topics at you, but I think I got you going in overtime over here, and I apologize for that.
No, you good. You good.
Okay, well I got one more then.
Let's go.
It was something I wanted to ask you. Oh, okay. So what do you guys feel about Haney going up? I've been talking to some people and I've been like, man, Haney's damned if he do, damned if he don't. If he goes up to 140 and fight Regis, he's ducking Shakur and Tank at 135. If he stays there, he's ducking the guys at 140 and he's draining himself down. If he does a rematch with Loma, that's bad too. Like, what's next for Haney? And why do y'all think people have such an issue with Devin Haney? Like, 'cause the guy he's a winner. He's winning.
I'll go. You know, I think I agree with you. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I think that he's known for pillow punches. Like, people don't think he has the power. So to move up, that's dangerous in my opinion. But then yes, he's avoiding other champions. I honestly don't think that he won against Loma. So I think that's another reason why people have issues. I don't think that he won. I think that at best it could have been a draw. So I don't want to say he's not a real champion because he obviously is a real champion. But for me, he has to prove, and who am I? But he has to prove like who he really is, because I didn't see him winning that night. And that's just my honest opinion. So
you want to know why he's not getting his respect? That's basically the question.
And that's why I don't think he's getting his respect. I think that's why, because a lot of people that know boxing they're like, he did not really even win that fight. But he's the new shiny new car, like the newer model, you know. So
Did he beat
then they can
Kambosos
set
twice?
him
Did
up
you
for
think he
their
won that?
champions.
Did you
Yes.
think he
I'm
beat
sorry.
Kambosos twice?
100%.
Okay, I was wanting to know, Christine, did you think he beat Kambosos twice?
Yeah. Yeah, Kambosos, yes. Kambosos, yes. But and the thing is too, like I always think about everything as in a business aspect as well. So the promoters, they've got their money and they put their money on certain people. So if they feel like he would be a less threatening champion for the people that maybe they put more money in or that could be stronger champions, well then they're gonna let him slide through and they're gonna make their money back and plus money. I look at things like that, and maybe I shouldn't, but I do,
Okay.
because I don't think he is all that yet. Could he be? Yes, but
I
is he
just
right
think-
now? No.
Look. Let me just start out by saying I think Haney is a great champion. You know, I don't have an issue with Haney. I've never liked the claims that he's ducking fighters and stuff like that. I don't think he does that. But my issue with Haney is it's not even anything Haney does or anything like that. But I just don't like the comparisons. Like I don't like the comparisons to Floyd. I don't like the comparisons to. I think people over exaggerate how good he is. He's really good. Don't get me wrong, but I just think people. They put him up here, and he's still high, but he's not as high as they put him. I think he gets hit more than people make it out to be. I don't think he's the master boxer. He's not like Whitaker incarnate. You know what I mean? He's a really good fighter, but just this is my personal preference. I don't like how he holds too much in fights. I don't like the tactics.
hold.
I think he puts people to sleep, in my personal opinion. And I think it shows. It shows. Look at why Tank is such a big star. And look at where Haney's at. You know what I mean? And I think that has a lot to do with it. Like when you watch Tank fight, I mean, say whatever you want about Tank. It's exciting to watch, right? But where Devin, it's like you see the skill, and I could appreciate it as a boxing fan. I can appreciate his skill set. He's one of the most skilled fighters in the sport. But I think what it is a style. I don't think people find him entertaining. And when you're not entertaining, people are going to nitpick the shit out of you. They just are, because it's just the way it is. It could be, you could call it unfair. Maybe it's not fair, but I do believe that has a lot to do with it.
It's not fair, but it is what it is.
When people don't like you, ain't nothing you can do to make them like you, man.
You're right.
Whatever
about
the
that.
thinker thinks to prove is going to prove. That's confirmation bias. Bud Crawford is very exciting. People don't like him. They nitpick him and talk bad about him. He ain't fought nobody and did nothing. So
That's true.
so what's the reason for, like, I don't get it, man. Like that same thing you said about him. Like people do that with Bud, and he's very exciting.
Well, what I will say
And I
about
think Haney could have, if Haney would have jabbed and grabbed Loma all night, probably would have had an easier fight.
Well,
Could have made
I
it
was
easier
gonna
just
say,
trying to
do
jab and
you
grab.
I don't
think
know.
that he beat-
I don't know that's true, but I
Did
want
he
to.
beat Loma? Did he beat Loma in your eyes?
I don't think he was going to be able to grab and hold Loma. I don't think that stylistically would have worked, because I think he would have done that if it worked stylistically. It's hard to grab someone who could compact themselves and shorter. That's why a lot of these. That's why Plant tried to hold Canelo. He couldn't do it. You know what I mean? Canelo didn't let him. A lot of fighters like Mosley tried to hold Cotto the way he did Margarito. Didn't work because Cotto was a little more compact, shorter. It was harder to hold him. I think the game plan of Haney was a good game plan. I think he put pressure on Salido. I was thinking of Salido, but he put pressure on Lomachenko, and that works on Lomachenko. You put pressure on him. He attacked the body. I think the game plan was good. It's just that Loma's a good fighter, and I scored it for Loma, if I'm honest, but it could have been a draw, and I'm not going to argue with anyone that scored it for Haney. I think it could have gone either way. I do. But I thought it was a great fight, personally. I don't have any complaints about that fight. I thought it was a great fight. But, I mean, you might be right. People just decided they don't like him. They've branded him, and that's it.
I think it's the dad thing, to bring it back full circle where I came in at. I think it bring it back full circle. Some people don't like his father. They think his father talks too much. He's too arrogant, he's too confident. my son is the next. He's gonna be the next Floyd Mayweather. Gonna be better than Floyd Mayweather. People like what?
That's
Nah,
true.
we don't
That's
like
true.
you. It's like the LeVar Ball. People didn't like LeVar Ball because he was just always talking about how good his sons were, and they nitpicked on everything that his sons did because they just didn't like the dad. Same thing with T.O. People don't like Junior. They don't like Junior Lopez.
true.
So just to bring it full circle,
I
Right.
have to agree with President Jafar. It's because Loma should have been. He should have won more convincingly. I do agree with that.
I don't buy that.
I do think so. Like, I think that, I mean, he took
agree
off
about
like the
that.
later rounds, and he should have like closed the show. I do agree with that.
Well, we only do
but
this in boxing, Christine. No other sport does
but
this.
just looking at it from like a boxing standpoint, I just felt like it should have been a draw.
Like, who won the NBA championship this year? What team was it?
I don't know.
So are we going to say that, hey, they're the champs? So if you're going to beat the champs, you got to beat them by at least 5 points, at least. Like,
I mean, you gotta beat them, but
the score is 0-0, and whoever scores more wins.
well, then
Whoever
there's
wins around,
this
wins around.
line of like who won, who didn't won, should have been a draw, whatever. I don't know. So
Look,
Mark,
if you like, all I'll
believe-
say is this: if you think Haney won, that's good enough, right?
no,
If well, what I'm saying is this: if you're a Haney fan, and
Yeah, if you're a
you don't have to be a Haney fan.
And I
Anyone
am.
who, let me reword anyone who scored it for Haney. If you need to say, well, I give it to Haney because, hey, you got a ticket for the champ, you're basically admitting
Loma
that if he
needed a
wasn't a
ticket.
champ, you would have given it to Loma.
I would
that's
say, yeah, I got you. I hate when people say that, but I will say this: Haney got that last round,
Because
and he won, and because
Loma
Loma took
thought
it
he
long,
was winning and just drifted.
and that's
which
an
was
amateur
stupid.
mistake. That's an amateur
Absolutely.
mistake. Talking about, oh well, I thought I was
Absolutely.
up, but really, that's what you can say after you lose the fight. Maybe
That's
that
true,
early
too.
body work from Haney start kicking in on that
That's
older
true,
body.
too.
Is that
You're right.
possible? That all those hooks to the body start sinking in
delayed
those later
reactions.
rounds.
Absolutely. I
But
agree
I
with
didn't
that
think
too.
Loma did enough in those first 2 rounds, and he gave away that 12th round. He did good in that round 10 and 11.
For sure.
But also, I'll play conspiracy theory if y'all want to play. If you look up box rate and see the promoter of record, you see 2 names up there. You know those 2 names you see? Bob Arum, Devin Haney. Devin Haney was a promoter of record for that
Ow.
fight.
Yeah, he's an independent. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Interesting.
you don't see Lomachenko name as the promoter. When you are the promoter of record, you do have some privileges, and you privy to a lot of
Absolutely.
things.
That's why I
The
say
judges, the
it's
refs.
It's business.
eh,
Absolutely.
but yeah, I
Absolutely.
stopped scoring the fight halfway through though, y'all. And at some point, I was like, man, this is a good fight. A lot of people criticized that fight, and they stole it. So I remember talking to people about that fight leading up to it. It was a chat room. And these guys said, I looked on the time. I was like, damn, they've been talking about this fight about 3-4 hours. All right. Hey, man, how many of y'all buying? How many of y'all going to the fight? Nobody's going to the fight. Who buying the pay-per-view? Stream team over here,
I was
nigga.
at the
I was like,
fight.
oh.
Just saying. I
So,
was
like,
there.
So these guys talking about this fight, arguing about it for 3-4 hours, and y'all ain't even going to support the event.
Look,
That's
I
the
love the
problem.
fight. I will say it was a great fight. I love the fight.
Yeah.
That fight had everything. It had action. It had skill. It had
We didn't get no knockdowns.
strategy.
I meant too
We didn't get no
short that
knockdowns,
night.
so.
No, but
Oh,
but,
for real?
I mean,
You took some
Yeah.
pictures?
I did.
Why
I
you do
did.
that move right there? I meant too short that night. What's that move mean? What does this mean? That too short that night. Y'all was dancing?
I met him,
Y'all
we
was
took a picture,
party?
and that was it.
Okay. I don't know
it's
if y'all
like,
was
it's like that
partying. Did
Usher
you get to-
situation. You know what I mean?
No,
That's going on right
not
now.
at all.
That's
Right.
Not at all. But yeah, no, it was a good fight, and I did support it. I do support when I can. When I'm in town, I'm gonna support. I'm gonna support my young
Yeah.
warriors. Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be in Vegas. D-Style, you coming out to the fight? You gonna be at the Spence Crawford
I
event?
told him he needs to go.
I'm not going to be able to make that fight, but
Where you at? You in Cali, right?
El Paso, Texas.
El Paso. Oh, El Paso, Texas. Yeah. I used to be stationed at Fort Sam Houston right there in San Antonio, man.
All right. Never went to
Yeah,
Fort
man.
Bliss?
Now I never went to Fort Bliss. Never went to Fort Bliss, but I'm familiar with it.
Okay.
But yeah, man, that's it for me, man. Anything else on the docket, Kristen?
Where can people find you? Tell them where they can subscribe and watch what you do, because you have a great show. You do a great job. We always talk about that. So let them know.
Well, thank you so much for the invite again. Shout out to Knockouts with Nika. Get well soon.
Yes.
Shout out to my guy D Style. It's always good to trade some bars with you, D Style.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
my
saying? Rock with D Styles heavy. Been rocking with listening. I've been a big fan of D Styles for a while. Before I was even in this space, I was watching D Styles. So it's always good to chop it up with you. I was like, man, I'm up here with D Styles. Mama, I made it. You know what I'm saying? I'm with the big dogs. But my name is Mark Nash. You can find me at Mark Nash TV. Go to marknash.com. You can cop some of the merch. I got some shirts, not just these with my name on it, but we got some dope merch out there with motivational quotes like dreams require sleep, goals require effort. And I really believe that and live by that every day.
It.
I want to tell you guys, man, my show is called Breaking Beats, where we break down business, entertainment, art, technology, sports, and anything else you and I feel like squeezing into those letters. It is a hip-hop political sports show with a comedy twist. We like to let those jokes fly because life is serious enough. So thank you again for your time. Thank you for your energy. And I just want to leave y'all with this. Look, respect is free. Disrespect can cost you everything, your family, your freedom, your finances, most importantly, your life. So let's show each other love. Let's show each other respect. And God willing, man, I'll be back over here real soon to chop it up with the ladies again. The lady, and hopefully Knockouts with Nika. You won't duck the smoke. Don't duck me, Nika. Stop ducking me. Stop ducking me. No, I'm joking.
Is that why she didn't show up? She was ducking
she heard my show last night. I said, I'm pulling up on Women Crushing It Wednesday, and I got smoke for them ladies, man. Yeah. And she was like, not me. I ain't going. How you get sick again? You were sick for the Crawford interview. Now you sick. You could have pulled up for this one. You ducked me, yo. You ducked me, yo. Stop ducking.
She called it sick. She called it sick.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she pulled it. She came with a Jamal Charlo doctor's note type shit. Whatever.
Remy said, don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh man.
Somebody said Mark though.
Nah, I never talked that about it. It's all jokes. But thank you again for your time and energy, man. This was so much fun. I cannot believe we did it this long, but I know your show's usually about an hour, but this is so much fun. I'm sorry if I get a little long-winded.
No.
But I love talking to y'all, and I love talking boxing with you guys. So thank you again for the opportunity.
Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you so much.
And I will see you in Vegas.
Absolutely, you will. Absolutely.
Yes,
and
let me know what size shirt y'all want. I'm going to try to bring y'all out some merch, too.
Okay. All right.
All right. Cool.
Thank
all right,
you so
peace.
much.
God bless y'all. All right.
God bless. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yes, ma'am.
D-Style, bro.
So you guys, D-Style Boxing, that's on Twitter. I'm on Threads now. Well, I don't even it's like Twitter.
Okay,
but it's
you gotta teach me about this Threads. Like
I don't know anything about it. I'm still trying to learn it, but
yeah.
Also D-Style dot or it's either dot or underscore boxing. Somebody has a D-Style Boxing altogether on Instagram. It's so annoying. I'm trying to get
Nobody
that.
better have In the Room with Christine. Like, whoa.
Right, but it's follow me on Instagram. I get 300-400 views on my stories, but then I only get 3-4 likes on my posts. People are such haters on Instagram. Like you guys are watching my shit, but you wouldn't take 2 seconds to hit the like. Speaking of the like, hit the like for Christine, right, on this show right here. Make sure you subscribe. And if you haven't already, go check out the interview with Tara Brown, okay, or T-Baby,
yes.
Whatever nickname you prefer. Check out the interview, and it was a good conversation. I'll say that.
It was. I loved it. Thank you, bro. Thanks for always showing up. We were talking before. I'm like, look, come on.
She was sick, Micah. Whatever. She's over here sick. Look, she's coughing.
Yep. No, nobody was. Oh yeah. And him. Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do him.
Yeah, but hey, thanks for having me on. Shout out to Mark Nash, by the way. Shout out to everybody in the chat, and I'm out of here, Christine. Peace.
Thanks, guys. Love to love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Everybody, see y'all next Wednesday. Bye-bye.